Good afternoon, everyone. You all doing okay? Hope you are. It's been a few weeks now since my last video, and I do apologise that it's taken me a little bit of time to get another video out to you. It's quite a big update today because there's quite a lot to sort of discuss. But we've been having a little bit of work done around the house, so and namely in the kitchen, which is where the tank actually is. So rather than me messing around and trying to do videos around workmen and all that sort of stuff, I just thought it was easy just to let things be for the next few weeks, and then we've got a big update for you. So it's been, obviously, it's about 3 weeks now since I last did a video for you. Quite a few new additions to the tank. There's a couple of bits of livestock and mainly coral that we brought in. Having a couple of problems with two of the coral mainly, which I'll move on to in a moment. And I also have now got a new piece of equipment, which you might remember. I think I got the TMC Reef Tide 4000S, and I said to you a few weeks ago I wasn't overly impressed with it. I probably would stay away from that. It just wasn't the best. I mean, it was 80 quid, but for 80 quid I would have expected a little bit more, because I think the Tunzi Nano Stream's much better for an extra 20 quid. So I've replaced it with the good old MP10, Vortec MP10. So I am going to try over the next week or 10 days to get a review out for you of that item. It seems to be working okay in the tank at the moment. I've not tried it with the app, so the app's going to be interesting to see how that works, because it's brand new to me. That obviously one of the things it now has now it doesn't need is the Reef Tide link. The Reef Link, I think it's called. So I've not got that because it just doesn't need it anymore. So I'll have a play around with the app, and then we'll do a bit of a review for you, and you can sort of pass your opinions on whether you will or won't be getting it. But yeah, I'd appreciate any feedback you've got in the comments. I personally think the tank's looking pretty good at the minute. As I say, I'm having a couple of problems with two of the corals. The other corals seem to be doing really, really well. Livestock wise, I've now got myself two new fish. So I've got a sand sifting goby, and I've also got myself a royal grammer. The sand sifting goby, I was a bit panicky over him a few weeks ago, because when I put him in the tank, it was moving all the sand around, as you can see it's still doing now. And then sort of a week or so after I'd got him, I just didn't see him for about a week, and I was like, oh, not another one. You know, I've never had any luck with the sand sifting gobies at all, and I was chatting to my dad about it when we were having a game of golf, and I just said to him, I can only assume it's because the tank's relatively clean and there doesn't seem to be much waste going into the bottom of the onto the sand, so maybe he's run out of food and that's what's killed him off. But no, he's back, he's here with a vengeance, and he seems to be doing okay. Royal Grammer doing well as well. So, as probably a lot of you'll know, the Royal Grammer is a basslet, so they're quite an aggressive fish. You can only tend to have one of them in the tank, so I've just got the one. I wanted an orchid basslet, I think they're called, all purple with a sort of a dark purple stripe down the back, but it wasn't available at the time, and I just don't think you can go wrong with the Royal Grammer. The colour's great. I love that little bit of the yellow versus the purple. I love that gradient you get sort of down the line where the colour changes. You probably can't see him. He is around somewhere. I saw him. I think one of the snails has just been attacked by one of the crabs, and I think it's popped its clogs. I just saw some sort of fleshy object moving around the tank, and the fish were all having a nibble at it. But it was nothing. It was no fish, because all the fish are still intact. I've seen them all this afternoon. So yeah, the fish are doing okay. Coral wise, I've got myself this Favia down here, and then I've got, I don't know what this SPS coral is up here. It's a sort of a browny, greeny colour. That seems to be doing okay. I've got Duncan just down in this bottom left corner here. Duncan's doing great. I bought it with 3 heads. It looks like, from what I can tell, it's already got heads 4, 5 and 6 growing. So that seems to be doing all right. I've got this a bird's nest SPS up at the top, and then I've also got this green Goniapora at the back here, and again that seems to be doing okay. Actually, the Goniapora is doing fantastic. I've not seen growth on any coral like that ever since I've been growing, having the SPS in my tanks. The problems I'm having at the moment, as you can probably see, are my Goniapora. It's still intact, but it's just not been out for the last week or 10 days. No idea why. And my frog spawn coral, bird's nest coral at the top, that was doing fantastic, and all of a sudden it just seems to be dying away. There are still some polyps on it, but I don't think it's going to live. I think it's going to be a case of taking that one out, unfortunately. But we'll see over the next few days. I'm hoping to save it, but I really have no idea what's causing it at the moment. Parameter-wise, everything's doing absolutely fine. The only thing I can sort of pinpoint possibly was a little bit of a drop in the alkalinity. That dropped down to about 7, and if you remember, I've been running it a sort of 10 or 11. So I've buffered that up over the last few days. It's probably time that I do a water change, maybe tomorrow afternoon. So that will obviously buffer those KH levels up a little bit more. But yeah, I just don't know what's caused it. Phosphate's fine. Nitrate obviously won't affect the SPS corals, but the nitrates are now sort of coming down a little bit, but still not at the level that we need them to be at. And obviously the Goniapora, unless anybody tells me otherwise, as far as I'm aware, it's an LPS. So it just seems strange that I'm having a problem with one SPS and one LPS coral. Maybe the bird's nest is too high up. I don't know. Somebody will probably give me a comment on that. If I've got any feedback, please do put those comments in the comment section down below. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Torch coral's fine, Duncan coral's fine, but that's just not been coming out at all. Really getting some good growth now on my red Montipora down the front here. That was looking a little bit iffy about 3 weeks ago, and on the back of it being a bit iffy, I started dosing iodine, and it's brought the colours straight back up again. So that seems to be okay. Now the other one that seems to be doing really well, my Sunny D's, my little Zoas down this bottom corner. I'll show you in a second. But the Sunny D's, there are now 5 heads on that, and obviously I bought it about 6 weeks ago with 1 head on it. So we're getting sort of a new head every 10 days or so, and I love it. I just love the colour on it, and when the blues when the blues come up at night time, it just looks fantastic. But so does the whole tank. It's been looking great. I must admit, I do love this Montipora. I think I'm kind of edging towards loving it a bit more than everything else because it's growing so well. But you'll also see, if you remember on one of my earlier, sorry, I do apologise for yawning a lot. I'm absolutely knackered. You might remember on one of my other videos a few weeks ago that I had a problem with, I thought the banana wrasse was eating at my corals, and I took the rock out of the tank, dropped, the rock broke, and this SPS coral that I've got here, that all sort of fell away and broke into loads of different pieces, but I managed to save them all. I've actually got one down here growing really well. This one, which was the main bit of the body to start with, that's growing loads of new little fingers, I suppose it is, on it. That's a digitata, that's what it is. And then I've got one by this Montipora at the back, that's got 3 new little digits growing off it. And then I've also got a piece that fell off this one when it had broken, and that's now growing out of the rock. So I'm getting quite a lot of growth on my SPS, so I'm really pleased with that. So we'll see how it goes over the next couple of weeks. The Favia seems to be doing all right. I can see, if I look at this side, it looks like it's growing out this way a little bit with some new, I don't even know how you would describe them, but you can see at the top as well, they grow in a sort of spherical shape, and these top couple where the banana wrasse has just been nibbling at are like that, but they are slowly closing off. So again, there seems to be a little bit of growth on them. I might venture out towards the weekend, maybe get myself another SPS frag and just see how things go. But yeah, I think probably the thing to do before I go and waste more money on a frag is find out exactly what's gone wrong with this bird's nest, but I just don't know. So yeah, I'll just take you forward and have a look at the tank a little bit so you can get an idea of how things are going, and then we'll go from there. So if you have a look, up here, that's the Goniapora that I was saying about. And as you can just see, sort of, I'm trying to point it out. So Goniapora, digitata there, just growing a little bit. And then, as I say, there's the the bird's nest coral. I just cannot stop calling this a frog spawn. That's not doing too well. And then we've got this little thing down here, but again, I don't know what it is. It looks a little bit like a digitata, but I've no idea. Favia's doing really well down there. And as you can see, got a few heads growing off the Sunny D now. Goniapora, you can't really tell because of the light that I'm giving off here. But then I've got obviously Duncan's down here, and then we've got this digitata there, which again you can see all the little sort of fingers coming off it. That one's doing really well. Polyps extended all the time. And then finally, you may or may not be able to just see down here. There's the Goniapora again, by the way. Just here, just above my finger, is the little bit that broke off of the digitata, and you can just see it starting to grow out a little bit. So all in all, things seem to be going pretty well. But yeah, I think we just need to sort of bear with it over the next few weeks and see what happens with the Goniapora, because that doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot at all. But yeah, I think the tank, hopefully you're all enjoying the videos. As I say, I do apologise for it being a few weeks since the last video that I did, but you can really see the growth coming on it now. The hammerhead at the top, that one's doing well, and I'm happy with things overall. So as I say, next few days we'll get a video up with the review of the MP10, and hopefully you'll enjoy that video. And if you're not already subscribed, I've had a few new subscribers this week, so hopefully you're enjoying my videos. But if you're not already subscribed, please like the video, share the video if you found it interesting, and also I'd appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much, everybody, and I will see you soon.